And welcome back to another episode of Comix. Welcome back, everybody. This is Esteban. So today I am the moderator today, not the moderator. Monorail.
Monorail.
Thank you.
Monorail.
Thank you. So let's see. Who do we got with us joining us tonight?
Hi, I'm Carmen.
Hello, I am Luis.
Cyborg Relations. I am Ash.
And I'm Andres.
All right. So it looks like we got the whole show today. So everyone keep in mind, let's count tonight to see how many times Ash's mic is disconnected from the entire show.
Let's count how many times Esteban's going to be a dick during the show. That's one. I love you.
God, how many times your ass is going to interrupt? That's one.
There it is. Thank you. All right. So we got a few things on the show today. On the so we got Spider-Man No Way Home, some Spider-Man No Way Home from Home news, the Flash news, Mad Max spinoff. Let's see. We got also some trailers that ended up coming out this week. Shang-Chi, Love, Death, and Robots, Mortal Kombat. The first 7 minutes they ended up posting that stuff. Actually got some comic book news this week, so that's good. That's exciting. Pretty stoked about that. Some more casting news, and then at the very end, we got, as always, our spoiler talk for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And then if we got some time, we'll throw in some Invincible in there. So let's go ahead and go to Luis. What are you drinking today, man?
So I have been opening my horizons of beers, and we got 8-Bit Brewing Company, Lost on Light. I picked it up because I was a little kitty cat looking through a keyhole.
I had that one last week on the show.
This is the one?
Yeah, I had that one last week.
Son of a bitch. You know what's funny? All right, well, in case you guys missed it, this is that one.
I didn't post. I didn't share it. I was the host, so I didn't have to share. But that's just what I was drinking.
What's interesting that you say that is when I got it. So before I get too far off, this is a sour IPA. I'd never had one, and we were talking about different beers, and Ash asked Andres, "What do you do with beer?" And he's like, "You can go by label, you can go by type." And then I had made a comment that I enjoy hazy IPAs, and then he's like, "Oh, well, if you like sours." Never had it. I just saw it in the IPA section. It had a kitty cat on it. I'm like, I'm in. Fucking first sip, it is sour AF, but I wasn't expecting it, so it was like kind of like when you have a Sour Patch Kid, and like it shocks your fucking like jaw or whatever. It's really good. Knowing that it's a sour, it's really good. It's refreshing. But I like 8-Bit Brewing Company. They have a lot of nice stuff. But again,
they have a bunch of video game stuff, so you would like their.
They're the ones.
Donkey Kong.
They're the ones that do the up, up, down, down, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. So I had that. I've had that one before. So for my video game nerds out there, 8-Bit Brewing Company, check them out.
Very cool, man. Very, very cool. Let's keep it with you, man. What's going on with comments this week?
All right.
Yeah, take that sip. Is it good?
Cheers.
Delicious. Oh, the sour.
The sour. the first sip. All right. So first, I know I usually go right into the YouTube comments, but there were a couple of comments that I thought was pretty funny on our Instagram. And for those of you that are just tuning in for the first time, give us a follow, comment on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, wherever, talking about the show, and we may/will read your comments on the next episode. And so there was a edit that we did. Shout out to Ash for coming up with the idea of dancing Zemo with at the Blade Club. Where Blade is like, this guy's getting fucked up, but like then it pans over to Zemo doing his little claps. And actually, that one was inspired by you, Carmen, because you enjoyed his claps. So we made sure to edit the claps in there with it. And so first off, we have Jay Ramirez saying that this is literally every Guar concert. For those of you who don't know, Guar is a metal band, and one of their like signature things is they have fake blood, like hoses shoot out at the audience, and so the blood.
Yeah, it fits.
I thought it was funny.
Right on.
Thank you, Jay Ramirez. Appreciate you. And then friends of the podcast, Comics Alliance. They commented. So with the Zemo dancing, this is how we roll up walking into comic shops, picking up our pulls, share with everyone. It's fire. Also, these are the moves we use as we walk by other comic book fans. LOL. Which is pretty funny. Like,
it's the dad dance, man. That's what it
you're
is.
just happy, like going.
Yeah, you know.
Get your pull.
That's all it is. It's the dad dance.
Anyway, we appreciate you, Comics Alliance. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Okay, so now shifting over to episode 28. We got Melissa Morales comments. Can we all please see when Ash does a Harry Potter quotes with somebody? Epic show. I was dying of laughter for most of it. And then she ended it with saying hashtag Thunderfacts because we were talking about the Thundercats. And then we said Thunderfacts. So, oh my God, that made me very happy. Thank you, Melissa. Quoting our own shit to us.
Melissa. For sure.
Well done. Well done.
I like how most of the show we're like shitting on Ash, but then when his jokes get repeated, it's like, oh man, that's quoting us. Like, man, we're so funny.
In his words.
I know his exact words.
His exact words, Thunderfacts, and let me Harry Potter with someone. Which I still haven't really spoken to you guys about. I fucking binged it in 2 weeks. And another one that I thought was interesting was we had on our YouTube page, we have a lot of old videos from when this podcast has had multiple iterations of its lifetime.
That's why it's just Comics Reboot now. That's all it is, man.
Yeah, exactly. That's why these episodes are known as Comics Reboot, which we're at episode 30. Jesus. Of this reboot. But for what is this? It's like a 6-year-old clip that we have that me and Esteban did back in the day of when Batman vs Superman came out. We edited the video to make it look like it was a romantic film between Bruce Wayne and Clark
Kent. Yep.
Yeah, and we have Melissa Ginrich just commented, "LOL, super bad." So, because someone
like legit recently commented on that video.
Yeah, it's making its waves again. It's like one of the highest.
That's awesome.
It's recent. This last month, it's like the highest viewed video. And I'm assuming because Justice League has been trending. I don't know, but I just thought it was funny, and it's like that they commented on that. So if you're listening, thank you, Melissa. We appreciate you.
Restore the Snyderverse.
Yeah, she has said, no, we want no part of that.
Leave it alone. It's done.
All right. So then shifting on over to comics favorite heavyweight. His question, and this is on episode 29, the last episode we had last week. Do you think the show is setting up Torres to become the next Falcon? Is Sam someone responsible for the death of Flag Smasher? If Sam wouldn't have given up the shield to John Walker, wouldn't he have become Captain America? So, fully loaded questions. I'm leaving it to you guys.
Yeah, we'll probably hit to that. We'll probably hit that at the end of the show when we review the most recent episode 5. So
I'll pull that up, and there'll be a topic of discussion then. So hang tight, heavyweight. Now we're holding you hostage. You have to listen to the rest of this thing. Okay, and then Ultra Turtles. I just found one that's a bot.
I saw that one. I was
like, would you like Good Time? I'm like, it's not even spelled correctly. I'm like, oh, well, shout out to Sunny Kodgi wanting to show the comics crew a good time. So
it was a bot. No, don't click on the link, guys. Whatever you do, don't click on the link.
My phone is trash. Wait,
I was like, did you click on the link?
I know, like the level of panic in Esteban's voice. Don't click it. Trust me, I know she's hot. Don't do it.
No, you know what it is? It's Russian intel coming in because of Ash talking smack about Russia last episode. So that's what it is. 100%. So don't click on it.
They're trying to infiltrate.
They're trying to infiltrate through.
Yeah, we are the source to get U.S. secrets, comics. This podcast with minimal subscribers. Okay, we love you all.
All 51 of you.
Comics Army. Yeah, I was gonna say the number. I'm like, I'm not gonna say the number, but yes, all 50 fucking one of you. All right, so Ultra Turtles, friend of the podcast as well. And this is in comment to the conversation we were having about what are the must-see action movies.
Oh yeah.
So his comment is, no Bourne, no Mission Impossible. I've only seen 007. Uncultured swine. Ha ha ha. You definitely have some homework. So I think he's talking about me. If only I knew this stuff in high school, I would have changed your life. Halo, just the way that Halo changed our lives. Keep up the great content, guys. So, so he's commenting the no Bourne, no Mission Impossible, only the 007. And then he's like, because we went to high school together, and he's like,
Right.
the fuck? I never knew this. I had to change your life. But yeah,
You still got homework to do, dude.
I know. Dude, I just saw Harry Potter, and then once I finished watching it, no one gives a shit. So it's gonna be the same.
No one ever said that.
I have demanded conversations, and they haven't happened.
By all means, Carmen and I are most definitely listening.
Speaking of, I had my employment will remain uncommented, but at my work, I was dealing with the public.
So he works on Sunset and Vine, and his it's not hourly. It just depends on when you finish and where you finish.
I saw somebody with a Deathly Hallows tattoo on their hand. And I was like, and I know what that shit is now. I'm like, I know what that, but I didn't have the confidence and like to be able to back up my shit to be able to be like, oh, Deathly Hallows. So I just looked at it.
You were very Captain America in that moment, weren't you? I understand that.
I got
reference.
that reference. Yeah.
I've seen that before.
All right, so let's see. Then we got and then the last one is and this is a heavyweight comment on episode 29. It says, when the Mandarin coming out in September, will RDJ make a cameo?
I don't think so.
I
don't think so either. I think we're holding on to the straws that RDJ will come back, but I think I'm okay. Kind of like with Hugh Jackman retiring as Wolverine. Like I'm good with him stepping away.
Isn't there like rumors that he met with Disney for them trying to bring him back as Wolverine?
Yeah. Yes, that is actually very true. He actually met with Kevin Feige, and his main concern was he doesn't want to tarnish what Logan did, essentially. And apparently Feige told him, he goes, oh, don't worry, we're never going to go ahead and ruin that. Like, that's a gem. So we're not,
we're a different universe.
Yeah.
Not based on those.
Exactly. Yeah. So that did come up.
You may be wrong on Hugh Jackman.
Ah, damn.
You want to make a bet on that, Luis?
No, I don't. I'm still thinking about the last one. Anyway, that concludes our comments. Again, we appreciate everybody that takes the time to not only listen to the show, but comment on it and be a part of it. Mm-hmm. So, thank you very much. I'll throw it right back to you, Esteban.
All right. Thank you so much.
Sorry, can I say one thing?
Sure.
Because there was the comment that we just discussed where there was a comment from Val Zuniga that said that can Mob Sash even do the on a cup on the head flip, and I don't even know how to explain that fucking thing. I'm gonna try and do that, and that's all I want to say. Well,
he's gonna try. He's gonna start with having a cup full of alcohol on his head, and he's gonna drink it.
Let's not say full. Let's say a shot.
Well, we're gonna have a shot. He's gonna drink it without using his hands. Is essentially the trick.
Yeah. So for those who haven't seen one of the memes that we put together, courtesy of Ash, we ended up putting together. It went viral. I think the last time we checked, we were close to almost 6 million views on it, with over 600,000 likes on there. So thank you everybody for watching this and sharing it and commenting on it and doing everything to essentially blow up that video for us. We truly appreciate it. So thank you. But yes, Ash is going to try to recreate that video, and we'll try to do a side by side and see if he's successful. So
I won't be. Go on.
You have ye of little.
I'll try it though. Yeah.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Okay.
Make sure it's on tile though, because I'm not going to do it on carpet.
If you fail,
oh, let's do that.
If you fail, you're gonna have to have Mentos in your mouth, and you're gonna have to chug some Coke.
Why do I lose if I win?
What?
If you fail.
No, he said if you fail.
But if I win up to 5, if I absolutely do it, you guys have to fucking do 5 shots of my choosing throughout a show.
Why all of us?
I won't.
He made the bet with you.
Because-
He made the bet with you.
Okay, who's the? But it's me versus all of you.
Not necessarily, because I have a feeling that you probably could do
One-
it.
Which one of you guys think I could fucking do with that? You guys know I can't. You guys know I will fail.
See, ye of little faith.
You may be very limber. I don't know. I don't know if they know, but you may have secrets.
I know, baby.
I know, baby.
It'd be funny if you
Saying
pulled the
around the
curtain back.
world, nah, yeah.
I don't even know if you're referencing Mace or if you're referencing fucking Lisa Stanchel. Are you? If you pull the fucking curtain, is the fucking guy sitting on your balcony? Please, God, please. For the love of God.
For those of you who don't know, I had a scare where some weirdo was sleeping on my welcome mat, and Ash likes to remind me to be fearful in my neighborhood. Thank you, sir.
Such a dick. So let's get back to the actual show. Okay. So we got some news that in Spider-Man No Way From Home, it's set to pick up right after Doc Ock's appearance in Spider-Man 2. I think that's actually kind of cool, to be quite honest. I mean, Spider-Man 2 came out in 2004 or 2002, something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
So there's definitely going to be some sort of CGI to kind of de-age him, a little bit. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh, nailed it. 2004.
2004. Nice. All right. Very cool. So, I mean, I was kind of hoping it'd be a Doc Ock from a different universe, being that Spider-Man's supposed to be tying loosely into Multiverse of Madness a little bit. I'm hopeful that it'll work out. I mean, what does everybody else think?
I'm sure it'll make sense, so I'm not too concerned about that. Yeah, so
I'm not concerned, but that was the movie that we were getting. There was going to be a lot of cameos, right? Because also,
Jamie Foxx.
oh my, Jamie Foxx. There you go. That's what I was thinking about. So that's the only thing that makes me worried is the way they're going to work in the cameos. Other than that, like it's Marvel, like it's a conjunction. So I'm full faith on that. But just sometimes when there's a lot of cameos, it kind of is. It could be problematic a little bit. So
Yeah.
I'm just hoping they do it justice in the way that it's done. That's it.
Funny
But I
thing
am
about
excited for it.
yeah, no, absolutely. A funny thing about that we were mentioning Jamie Foxx is that when it was first announced that he was going to be Electro, he's going to reprise his role as Electrode. He tweeted that this Electro is not going to be blue. So being that Doc Ock or Alfred Molina confirmed that he's going to be the same Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2, that tweet, it has been deleted by Jamie Foxx. So it's kind of like a little like, oops.
It's like,
So-
yeah, you will.
Yeah, exactly. But Luis and Ash, what do you guys think about Doc Ock or Spider-Man No Way From Home picking up right after Doc Ock's last appearance? So not picking up right after Spider-Man 2, but his last appearance.
It's making the Sinister Six movie. It's
more of a possibility.
No, it seems that it's fucking happening. I mean, we got him, we got Electro, we got William Dafoe was coming back, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he was.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then like it seems like it's such an epic build and of this project that was scrapped when they were trying to build for the Sinister Six after Amazing 2.
Yeah.
Before Andrew Garfield got canned. It's fascinating. It's a fun time to be a nerd. It's fascinating to see where this is going to go. I'm excited.
it's gonna be awesome. I never really liked part 2 of the Alfred Molina one because it wasn't a lot of action. It was a lot of story.
Yeah.
You don't know if you're freezing or making fun of me, so I don't know.
No, I don't. I can't believe you don't like Spider-Man 2.
It wasn't. There was just not a lot of. I can tell you right now from what I remember. I remember him standing on like the computer databases, pulling the wires.
Yeah.
And her falling on the webbing, and that's all I could tell you. Like, and then Spider-Man 1, I saw 11 times in the theater.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I couldn't. It wasn't as. Like you had in the beginning, then you had Becoming Spider-Man, and then you had fucking the fight where he swings and catches Mary Jane, and then you had the end fight. This one had like maybe story, one fight, story.
Yeah, the train fight was the big one in that movie.
Oh, the train! I will say the train part is the best. Like the fucking, he's just a kid, like. And that was cool.
Which is pretty funny because he's like clearly in his 30s. It's like he's just a kid. Like that is not a kid, dude.
His grays on the side, like me.
He's barely older than my kid.
Yeah. But it's cool because it brings the world together, and the Sinister Six thing that was supposed to happen with this set world can now happen with like. This Vulture and this fucking Electro, and like I don't know, it could be cool. It would be a good way to mesh the worlds together in the Sinister Six. So it's gonna be awesome. I don't know. It's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna be very excited.
Right.
I've always loved Spider-Man. So like it's fucking ever since Spider-Man. Like it's gonna be great.
Sweet.
So,
very cool. So sticking on the Spider-Man train, it looks like Sony struck another deal with Disney. So last week we talked about the deal that Sony made with Netflix to have their movies go exclusively to Netflix for about 18 months. And they were going to go ahead and drop off after that. So, we would get Spider-Man Far From Home, Spider-Man Homecoming, Venom, all that stuff to be debuting on Netflix after the theatrical release. But it looks like Disney wins again because it was announced that after the 18-month where the films are going to be on Netflix for 18 months. After that, they're going to Disney Plus. So we will have the complete MCU on Disney Plus, probably in 2022, 23, something like that, is when we'll have the complete Infinity Saga on Disney Plus. It looks like Disney's going for the gold at this point to try to keep everything, centralized and at home on their platforms. I'm pretty stoked about it. As far as actually seeing it, I don't have to kind of bounce around to kind of see, try to find the movies elsewhere. And I don't think I've seen the Maguire Spider-Man in a while, like a long time. I think the one that I saw most recently was Amazing 2. I think that was like on FX or something like that, or FXX or something. That's where I saw it last. So what do you guys think about this whole acquisition that now Disney's doing with Sony?
I'm all for it. It's cool. Like the Spider-Man 1 and the original trilogy of Spider-Man, it wasn't the greatest thing, but at the time I remember Spider-Man 1 so fondly. I saw it a shit ton of the second it came out on DVD. I fucking watched it a bunch of times. Like it was just, I idolized that movie. And then I saw Spider-Man 2. It wasn't my favorite, but it was like I grew to like, the more I watched it, the more I was like identifying things that I liked about it. But it's still nostalgic, man. It hits in such a happy place in my childhood. So, and I never hated the Amazing films. I mean, Amazing Spider-Man 2, some pretty cringy shit in there. Same with Amazing One. He was stalking Gwen Stacy, and they were trying to make that look romantic. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of creepy. He's
Super
like,
creepy.
when they broke up, and she's like, "Are you following me?" He's like, "Only every day." Like, and then she's all being like, "Oh, you're so cute." And it's like, I remember being in the theater. I'm like, that's fucking crazy. That's really bad. That's not okay. But they made it look cute.
Order.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's the creepy boyfriend that you there is nothing you can do. Anyway.
So
Andres.
I would like for them to, it's cool that they're all going to end up eventually being all under the one place, so that's like the awesome thing. So yeah, it's not bad news. I guess we just got to wait the 18 months, and it's not like we all don't have Netflix and Disney Plus, so it's not that major a deal.
Yeah,
so at least in the future we'll all have one place to go when we get nostalgic, as you guys said, and want to go through all of them again. We could always just fire up our Disney Plus.
Very cool.
I think I'm of the same opinion, just because I haven't seen them in a long time, and I don't even remember how long it's been since I watched them. Maybe, probably about 8 years, maybe. So it's been a long time. I haven't rewatched them, so I would definitely be binging them either on Netflix or Disney Plus, most likely on Disney Plus. But I'm excited for that.
It also makes like Netflix have to step up, because the awesome thing about Prime is that they came out with Invincible, and like, fuck, is the beginning of a universe they can create. Because if Disney Plus is getting them, and HBO Max is getting them, like, you know, there's got to be something else. You know what I mean? Like, it to create a own universe within Netflix would be cool. You know?
I mean, Netflix keeps dropping these fucking bombs. Like, what was it? The Umbrella Academy that just came out.
Oh, yeah, that's true. The Umbrella Academy.
Never mind. And then there's what is it? Jupiter's Legacy. Jupiter Legacy. Like, so what's funny is that they're victims of their own success, and by they I mean Netflix. It's like they keep hitting us with these fucking powerhouses of TV shows, and it's like we binge it in a weekend, and then where I'm like, I'm ready for the next one, and then maybe 3 months later, this other thing that I didn't know I wanted, and then I see Queen's Gambit, and I'm like, this is what I've always wanted. And then I see another thing, and it's like, now this is what I've always wanted. And so it's like, because they constantly bring it, like if I have no plans on a Saturday night or Sunday night, I'm like, I'm going to boot up. Netflix is my go-to. I'm like, let's see what's here. Maybe I'll find the next thing. And the other networks, and I'll leave it to you guys to see if you agree with me or not. The other networks I don't have that same loyalty with them. I'd be like, oh, I'm sure I'll find the next crazy awesome show. Like, they have their great things, like Amazon Prime. Up until recently, I only really knew about The Boys. That's really all I ever watched from there. And then HBO was watching Harley Quinn, like, and then now of course all the fucking releases of these movies that come out in theaters and shit at the same time. But yeah, I don't know. I think Netflix is at the top of it. It's like, in Disney Plus, obviously, with their weekly releases.
Or what if, like, The Boys in 10 years could mesh with Invincible? You know what I mean? Like, you can create your own little world in the network. Do you know what I mean?
I see what you're saying, but they're still owned by different comic book companies, though. But I do see what you're saying.
They're not the big two, though.
No, right. But I think what he's trying to say is that, I mean, is it a possibility that they could, and they could be, its own universe? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, DC and Marvel did it, and they came together and they created Amalgam Comics. So yeah, of course, it's a possibility that it could happen, but I think it's far from it happening, period, right now. So, let's see. So let's go ahead and jump into the Flash movie. It looks like Warner Brothers ended up dropping a new logo for the Flash, and it looks like Michael Keaton is now for sure going to go ahead and film his role in the Flash movie. So that's pretty exciting. It started filming already, so it has a potential release now for 2022. So we'll get to see our Flashpoint, and I believe this Flash movie, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be an origin story. So there it might be, I'm not sure. So there's a possibility that we might see that. So
No, with time travel, it's they can bounce back and forth. That's
yeah,
a
so
distinct possibility.
yeah, and I kind of think that that doesn't really bother me because it's time travel, you know.
Yeah.
So there's that. So I'm really excited about, you know, now to see Michael Keaton. I think I'm more excited about that, to see Michael Keaton as Batman again. And then, you know, hopefully we get that Batman Beyond spin-off on HBO Max. That would
Don't
be
play
kind
with
of cool.
my heart. Don't play with my heart, man.
All right, I'm sorry. So as far as the Flash movie goes, Ezra Miller, we got Michael Keaton. What are your guys' thoughts so far about, you know, that it's finally filming, and for sure now we got Keaton back in the cape and cowl? Ash.
I'm excited for it. I really dropped out like once they were like Michael Keaton might not do it because of COVID. I was kind of like fuck. I think we even talked about it about the Batman Beyond. It would be cool to have one last storyline with him as Batman and then realize he can't do it anymore and then do the Batman Beyond, as opposed to just one like I'm just old. We just saw him as Vulture, what, like fucking 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Like, it's not like he can't be out. And Birdman.
I was gonna say Birdman.
Move.
Yeah.
It's not like he can't move. So he doesn't have to be dead. It could be like the same thing they did with Ben Affleck. Like, I can no longer be this Batman. Now I have to make up for it in my suit. It should just be like that. Or he could have the same stiffness he had in '89. Either way, I'm excited for it. I hope it's a good story. I like Ezra Miller, especially after
Snyder Cut.
The Snyder Cut, the fleshed out Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really good. Carmen.
I'm excited for it, but this is a movie where they're introducing the fact that there are multiple universes, right? Not obviously we got it in the CW show, but in the movie verse, this is where they're introducing that idea to people.
Yes, because we have Ben Affleck and I believe Michael Keaton that are going to be both playing Batman in that movie. So we are getting two or an alternate universe or universes in this Flash film.
I'm excited to see how they're going to do that. And I am excited that Michael Keaton is for sure going to be in the movie. As we talked about it last time, where he may not have been there.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, not that it wouldn't draw away from the movie, but I mean, he's a big name, and if we're gonna do a multiverse, I would have loved for him to show up, and the fact that we're actually confirming that he is, that's exciting. So totally on board.
Andres?
Yeah, I can't wait to watch. I'd like to see what take they're gonna have on like Flashpoint, because there's obviously a story that we all know, but I doubt they'll go directly in on it. So I don't know if we'll get. Yeah, I won't. But yeah. So I wonder how they're gonna change it up. Yeah, I'd like to see Michael Keaton back in the cape and the cowl. So, and I don't expect him to be like fucking kicking ass through the whole movie, but just to see him in the suit again would be awesome.
Very cool. Ash, you look like you got something to say, man. What's up?
How cool would it be if Keaton takes on Jeffrey Dean Morgan's Thomas Wayne? Like, to stop, like, this Batman took off this way, the way he did in kind of Flashpoint, and this and it's kind of like, you're not my dad, but you're my dad. I don't know, I'm complicating things, but that kind of, I don't know, that would be fucking cool to me.
That would be interesting, and to see the path that he goes.
Right.
Because no, I can totally see that work. Because when Snyder's vision, and again, this is not a restore Snyderverse by any means, but his vision when he approached Affleck was that this is a beat down Batman that has gone through the system and he's lost faith in the system, and that's why that's why he believes in manslaughter. Like, he just stopped giving a shit about people. And so this is that version of him, right? And he's just like cold, and that's why in Batman vs Superman, when that starts, he's just like, I need to take down this guy because fuck everything and I'm angry. And so it would be fascinating, just like that. It was direct quote. It'd be fascinating in a film if he was to see his father of like a different timeline and the route that he goes, and he's straight up like blowing off people's kneecaps and he's killing in some cases, and he's like, wow, I don't want to be that. And to like, if that was his shift, as opposed to, you know, the Snyderverse, it was, I got Superman killed, blah blah blah.
That's kind of why I'm saying Keaton, Batman versus him, like the one who hasn't killed. Well, he did kill, because he definitely killed that motherfucker
with the machine guns.
Well,
or when he put the bomb,
and he knocks him off into the
So I mean, let's. He wasn't. What's his face? Wasn't free of sin either, Keaton. But
I don't think any of the Batmen were free of sin.
No, agreed. The closest one would be the Christian Bale one, but I enjoy.
Not really. He let Ra's al Ghul die.
I said the closest one. Because you're right, he did, and that was like, oh, but I don't have to save you or whatever. But that was like a big loophole, and like Batman fans weren't really happy with it. But he went full circle with it in the third film when Talia's talking to him. She's like, I hated my father until you murdered him. And it was like a big kind of full circle moment of, he thought he was above it and he thought he was this great thing, which was a great theme of Dark Knight Rises, where he gets this technology, this illegal technology, and even fucking Morgan Freeman's like, this is too much power for any one person. And so he had to like get up to this point to get then, you know, kind of bring it all back down. So I thought it was a theatrical masterpiece.
The only Batman free of sin is Adam West.
This is also true.
Free of killing, yes, but not free of sin, because there was
Are you gonna the Batutsi?
the Batutsi. Am I the only one that thought that Ezra Miller wasn't gonna reprise his role after he chokeslammed that one chick at a bar? Was it in? You guys heard about this, right?
Yeah,
April
I
of 2020.
Yeah.
So I was pulling up the incident. So he chokeslammed a girl because I guess she was a fan of his work in the Harry Potter universe, the Fantastic Beasts, that one.
Yeah.
And so the video picks up with him saying, "You got a problem?" But she's like clearly a fan. She's like getting closer to him, like she's being awkward, but like she wants to talk to him. And so then he's like, "You want to fight?" And so before she can respond, he's choking her. Then he like shoves her to the ground, and you can hear people like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!" And so when I saw that, I was like, "Dude, there's no way he's gonna come back." And here he is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say to that.
But I know my question to the group is: was I the only one that was like, "Oh shit, we're not gonna get this movie now"?
I haven't seen the video or I haven't seen the footage. It's
pretty much how he described it.
Really? Okay.
It's super short. Yeah, it's super short.
Except where she has like a smile and is happy in the beginning, and you could tell he is not.
He just wasn't having it.
She doesn't know what is going on. Like, she's like, "Oh my god!" Like, so excited to see him, and
the story she must tell if she has a podcast.
If she has a that. I don't even know.
I met my hero.
Choke slammed me.
It's
Call me a
because
bitch.
People don't want this Snyderverse restored or whatever the fuck is the situation. But again, we don't want to deal away with Gal Gadot. We don't want to deal away with fucking Aquaman. And we're just coming out with an Ezra Miller movie. Like, So
Well, I don't think that they would do away with them. I mean, I was reading that HBO Max beat their
Meat?
Forecast
yeah,
for
thank you. Their
what they
forecast.
thought.
Thank you. Their
Mhm.
forecast, I think they beat it by like 28% or something like that. They had in as far as subscribers go. So AT&T, being the ones that actually paid Snyder to do his Snyder cut, may actually turn around and cut him a check to finish or to restore it and do Justice League 2 and 3. So there is a possibility, but I don't know if they're going to say, okay, well, if we're going to let him do that, then they're going to say that Wonder Woman 3 and Aquaman 2 are not going to be canon in the or in his universe, in his
That's
Snyderverse.
so messy.
So
Ugh.
it's just it's a lot.
Yeah.
So I
when
don't
I
know.
say the universe, though, I just mean like don't
Change your shit.
So then don't Batman, who's this? Like, is now Batman going to be played by Edward Norton, who's going to quit after this movie? Like, what are we going to get? You know what I mean? Like, because it has
That seemed like a direct jab at Edward Norton.
No, I love Edward Norton, but I'm just saying, in general, he did one movie.
I really enjoyed that movie. I was really upset when they recasted him.
It was a great movie, but then again, Mark Ruffalo was a pretty good Hulk. So
I did not want to like him when I was going in to see the first Avengers. I'm like, fuck you replaced Edward Norton, because I was like Team Edward Norton. And then once he started acting, I was like, oh, this is why they did it. Like,
well, it wasn't really that. It was what was it? It's the it was a hypocritical statement that I think Marvel Studios put out. They called it creative differences.
Yeah.
So,
but like, I guess Norton is the CEO of his company, so
yeah.
It was a very similar thing to where Terrence Howard got the boot, where he's like, I didn't even know about it. Like he's like, oh, I didn't know, but it makes sense because they're probably kicking him a bunch of money. And I know Norton was looking at some of the rewrites of the script too. He like added certain shit, and he was super invested in the project. So they're like, we're gonna have you go because we're gonna do our thing.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
So, let's see. So jumping into some trailer news, there were a few trailers that were dropped this week. Let's start off with, you know what? Let's start off with The Conjuring. Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It. I am fucking excited for this one. Like, I really am. I'm very excited for this one. The trailer, if you guys haven't seen it, it's fantastic. I'm sure we'll probably end up putting it up, sharing it on our social medias, but I'm excited for it. I'm glad that, Patrick Wilson and I forget her name.
I don't know her name.
I forget her name.
Farmiga.
Thank you. They're reprising their roles as the Warrens, and this was a case that they took in '81 about a broad daylight murder, and it looks pretty creepy. I think this one looks a little creepier than I would want to say the last two, based off of what I saw in the trailer. So I'm excited to see it. June, I think the movie comes out in theaters and on HBO Max June 4th. So what do you guys think about, all of us minus Ash, because Ash is not real big on horror movies, the Conjuring universe expanding a little bit more with Conjuring 3? Anybody at all?
Anybody? Okay. I was just afraid that we were all going to start talking over each other. I'll make mine brief. The first one was my favorite fucking film. So many things that they did was so true to people that follow supernatural events. And I was so intrigued that director James Wan did such a wonderful job of doing his homework to hear, like, he wasn't just like, we're going to make this chair move because it's creepy. Like, he was doing things that mattered. and it was like
Right.
a bunch of little things that mattered, and it was just fascinating. The second one, I liked it a little less, but I still enjoyed it.
Mhm.
And so all the spin-offs, I've seen them. They're not good. Like, but it's like, except for Annabelle Creations. Annabelle
Okay.
Creations, the second one was quite entertaining. But I know when they initially were making these different spin-offs, they were like, it was around the time that Marvel was doing its universe, and so now it's like, oh, the Conjuring universe, we're gonna do this.
Mhm.
And there's been rumor that there's a movie that's gonna bring it all together. And considering this is the third one that started the whole thing, it would be fascinating if we see elements of the other different spin-offs into this film. It's just something that's like a little bug in back of my ears. It's kind of like,
Uh,
oh, that'd be kind of cool if we see like La Llorona, fucking Annabelle, we see the Nun, like just like whether they're cameos or whatever, but just like, and it's like this big thing if they reveal that it's like legit the devil that's doing this. It's like, you know, the fucking crazy crap that they'd be up against. But
yeah, I you know what, now that you bring that up, I think that would be a nice tie-in to kind of bring everything together. That would be actually really, really cool.
because it would make give you more want to go check out those other films that weren't that successful, and maybe even bring them up and be like, oh, look how cool all this shit is.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Carmen, did you see the trailer?
I did. I actually did see this trailer, and I'm actually really excited because it looks really good. And the line on the trailer that resonated with me is when they're in the court and they're like, if the court accepts the existence of God, why would you not accept the existence of the devil? You know, and I was like, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, totally excited for it.
Fucking A.
It looks pretty good. Yeah.
Nice.
Andres, what do you think?
I was a little worried that it was going to be cheesy. I would have still watched it, but the trailer got me excited to see it. I don't know if the way they cut the trailer or whatever, or it's just true to the film. It looks really good, and I'm excited to watch it. And that may be the first movie I go back to the theaters to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be coming out in June, so you know everything should be fairly clear by then. Yeah, hopefully. So yes, James Wan actually is not directing this one. It's actually Michael Chavez that's going to be directing this one. And fun fact, if you guys didn't notice, in Aquaman, there's a scene in Aquaman, you actually see Annabelle in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't notice it, but I saw the thing that they like did a freeze frame of Annabelle.
Yeah, she's in the water.
One of the wrecked ships, right?
Something like that. It was like the part where Mira was talking to Aquaman. It's like, oh, like you choose the humans over us, but look at what they do to the ocean. And then like it's the camera panning.
And Annabelle's there.
Yeah, she's just like, you know, just chilling right there in the water. But from what it looks like, because that doll has shown up in almost every iteration in the universe, which is to your point, Luis, what you were saying is that's the one thing that's coming together that's going to mesh all the movies together. So I mean, if that's the case, I mean, if they're saying that this Annabelle doll, which obviously is a real thing, is like an actual product and created,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Yeah. Like that would be creepy as hell. So I mean, who knows?
Fun fact on the Annabelle doll, it was a Raggedy Ann doll. Was the legitimate possessed doll Raggedy Ann. For some reason that makes it creepier for me. Because it's like,
was there a Raggedy Ann doll in your house growing up?
Oh yeah.
That's why.
There was a Raggedy Ann and a Raggedy Andy.
Yeah, there you go. That's what it was.
But it's just like, because it's such a happy doll, and like the idea that there was this negative energy attached to it at the Warren's house or whatever. But anyway, I digress.
It's like encased in a whole thing locked away and stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, Ash, do you plan on watching it at all with us in the daytime with the lights on?
If I go, I'm gonna have like a lot of melatonin, and that way I fall asleep before, like during all the little story building part, and we'll go to sleep.
Thank you for that.
You know what trailer I've been seeing? The one where the lady gets hit by a car and then all of a sudden is scaring everybody. Nothing. Okay,
What?
I don't know that one.
it's been showing on Hulu because like going into the next episode or something, and they've been showing that specific.
Oh, it's like a
one.
commercial or something like that.
Yeah.
A commercial? It's like Geico Insurance.
There's this goddamn like gecko thing. No, it's like they're doing that. Like Stir of Echoes, I fucking love the movie Stir of Echoes, but the one scene I can't do is with the break the nail on the.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly. It's like that where they show this trailer and they show her like her fingers almost bending differently, and I was like, I'm out. Because you know you're gonna hear breaking of bones, all stupid like fucking.
I mean, you don't know that, but yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. It's like it just like makes you uncomfortable, kind of like The Ring, the movie that you watch that kills you. Like it's just filled with a bunch of uncomfortable scenes, like the sound and the movement. It was, I don't know, it made my skin crawl. Like it wasn't necessarily scary, it was just uncomfortable.
It's funny that you say, yeah, I've seen it, but it's funny that you say that makes you uncomfortable. You had no problem watching Human Centipede.
Well,
yeah, no, Human Centipede. It was more like,
that was a different ring.
Oh, my bad.
We go full circle.
There it is again.
He goes a full brown circle.
Gross.
Yeah.
Disgusting. So Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings ended up dropping this week. Very excited about it. I don't know much about Shang-Chi, so I'm intrigued to do research on it and to see it. But all I know is that from what I've seen in the trailers, there's a lot of callbacks to obviously a lot of the films in the Marvel universe right now. If you guys haven't seen the trailer, there's a lot of Easter eggs in there. I don't know if you guys caught the Captain America shield in the background. It's in the background of the scene where it looks like Shang-Chi's like walking through a cage. It's like right in the background. It's a blink and you'll miss it moment. So there's that. I see the 10 rings now. I thought the 10 rings was more of an organization, but it looks like they're all power rings now. So that's what it looks like, that they're bracelets. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
So I think that's what they're kind of changing it to, is that instead of the traditional what it was in the comic books, which I believe was a terrorist organization, which was actually hinted to in Iron Man 2 or Iron Man, the first Iron Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's the flag or the symbol where you see the 10 rings going around. That echoes in the first Iron Man, and then obviously Iron Man 3.
That's what I was gonna say when the Mandarin shows up.
Yes.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
But I didn't see it show up in the first Iron Man. I got it.
So, Luis, what was Heavyweight's question in regards to Shang-Chi and the Mandarin? Because he had asked something about the Mandarin.
Oh, asked if he didn't say specifically the Mandarin, but he said if we think that RDJ was gonna do a cameo, if the Mandarin is the main character.
I don't think so, to be quite honest, only because if this movie is supposed to take place obviously after Endgame and it starts referencing the things that happened in Endgame, I don't think we're going to get a cameo from him. Granted, yes, the Mandarin in the comic books was in Iron Man's Rogue Gallery, but it also was in Shang-Chi's Rogue Gallery. So I personally don't think we're going to see him in it. They may reference him, in the film, but that's pretty much it. What did you guys think about the trailer for Shang-Chi? Anybody else?
I liked it. I really like the comedic tone with it. The Aquafina brought towards the end of the trailer. I love that. I
didn't even know she was in
her.
it. Yeah, I was so excited when I saw her. I was like, "What? She's in this?"
Yep.
And it's like her dry humor that she's known for. So I was really excited for that. I don't know how I feel about the 10 rings being
The rings.
the bracelets in bracelet form, because
Right.
I don't know. I mean, whatever. It's
Uh-huh.
just I feel some type of way about it. I don't have words to put to it, but yeah. I thought, again, like you said, you were mentioning that they were organization, and it seems like they kind of will touch on it because of his dad, right? And whatever is gonna happen. And I don't know any of the story, but yeah, no, I don't know about the bracelets.
You're on the fence about the bracelets?
Yeah, the bracelets are really bothering me out of the whole trailer. That was the thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold on to that. Yeah.
Ash.
Chance to see the coolest thing about, like, say, Civil War was what Winter Soldier was doing that made that fight happen.
Mm-hmm.
So at any point they could do a flashback, or they, to prolong the story between me and Luis, they could show fucking a scene with me and, I'm trying to fucking make an analogy that's not gonna happen. To make a scene work between these two characters, they could always show like a scene with like Scarlet Witch and RDJ.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like they could. It's not to say they'll take up the mantle again. It's just to say that we can always see these, as long as they're alive. We can always see these people reprise their roles in that one scene. Look at fucking Mark Hamill. Like we can. So it's just not. They just may not be in the new universe. They'll just be like, this is what happened when to make me this way. I'm very excited for anything Marvel does. Everything Marvel does always fits into the universe, and it's always like I just said, this is what's happening during this. Even during Daredevil, this is what was happening during, all these other movies that are happening. So, which kind of gave us hope that Daredevil would be, now it's going to be in the universe, but this is what he was doing during, and now he's in the universe. Fuck, I'm going everywhere with this. But yes, it's going to be, Shang-Chi's going to be awesome. I'm going to love it.
Andres?
I didn't watch the trailer completely. I got bits and pieces of it. I did notice something, and then I saw an article based that they may be teasing Iron Fist as a new character because the way somebody was dressed, the color scheme of somebody was in the trailer. So that's one thing I got. And like Ash said, it's Marvel, so I trust them. Even though I'm not like super into the character, I don't really know much about it. It was like way after I was in my comic book phase. But yeah, like I said, it's Marvel, so I'm gonna watch it.
Right on. Luis?
I'm a fan. I'm a sucker for martial art display and choreography, and this, from what I've seen in the trailer, they use it. They're not afraid to get martial artists and do a beautiful choreographed scene, and it doesn't necessarily have to be CGI. Like, I enjoy Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon as much as the next person, but I can only take so much of that. I want it to be a little bit more condensed and more grounded. And in the group chat we were talking, I compared it to Ip Man, where it was it's very much like you see like the slow move, like they'll slow down the movement, but you see the fucking all the different strikes and everything, and obviously it's putting the actors at so much more risk, but it's so rewarding when you see just like a beautiful fight scene play out, and it just seems grounded. And I'm
Even
intrigued
when he's
to see
training,
more.
right? He has like the Wing Chun from IP Man, and I was like, oh, that's fucking cool.
Like, and I'm such a fucking nerd for different styles of martial arts. So when I see films starting off this way, I just get excited of what if he fights a guy that has crane style or has the like, and you just see all these like, fucking, especially these masters that most of the styles of kung fu that are out there, they were designed to counter a certain style. And so like the fucking grandmasters, it's like, oh, here's the crane, here's the mantis, here's the tiger, like, and they just like constantly counter, and it's like, it's just a beautiful choreographed dance. Ugh, I'm excited.
Well, I mean, it's dropping in September. I think it's like September 3rd or 4th or something this year. It's supposed to be dropping. So, I mean, it's only a few months away. I mean, April went by in a blink of an eye. So I'm sure we'll be getting a lot more trailers and a lot more Shang-Chi content. Actually, probably pretty soon. Am I the only one that's excited to see Aquafina and possibly Luis show up from Ant-Man, just like share a scene together?
Oh, that would be
I didn't even think of that.
awesome.
I mean,
that would
you know,
be great. Oh my god, hell yeah. I would live. Yes.
I would
That would be
live.
dope, right?
She has risen.
Yes. You have my full attention now.
I mean, how dope would that be, right?
That would be great. That would be. I didn't even think of him. I was thinking of he showed up in WandaVision. The FBI agent.
Oh, the FBI agent.
Oh, Jimmy Woo?
And yes, I was thinking he might show up, but I didn't even think of Luis. That would be great. Yeah.
That would actually be fantastic. I would love to see that. Luis, I'm going to throw this one to you for the trailer of Love, Death, and Robots Volume 2. I've never heard of it, so please school everybody who hasn't seen it.
I'm speechless. I would strongly recommend you to watch it. It's such an easy watch. Mm-hmm. It's not when you first see, if you pull it up on Netflix and you first see like the initial banner of it, you're like, I'm good. I'm moving on. But
that was probably me.
Like it is really out there. But there, I want to say maybe there's between like 12 to 15 episodes. But they're not linear. It's they're all one shots, and I believe the shortest one that I saw was 4 minutes long, and the longest one I saw was maybe a half hour, and it's just a bunch of short stories, very similar to the short stories you watch before you watch a Pixar movie, the little like clip, and it's always like at the end of the clip, you're always like, oh, that was cute, that was very heartfelt, that was. Like, I see the message that they were doing. Mm-hmm. It's like that, just mature. Like there's like one or two of them that were that lighthearted, like as if it was like, oh, this would totally fit in front of a Pixar movie. Like where it was like cutesy and you feel happy about it. There are others, however, that it's like, oh man, this is heavy. And it's like in the span of 15 minutes, I have gotten attached to this character and I'm feeling for this character, whatever it is that they're going through. And but again, they're one shots. Like there are no episodes that go linear, so very similar to like Black Mirror, except where Black Mirror has like a full hour to set up a premise and all of that. So I was very much a fan. Like I've told many people, like, please check it out. Love, Death, Robots. It's so good. And some episodes are about love, some are about death, some are about robots. So that really is where the name comes from. It's some of it is CGI, some of it is animated, and I think in season 1 there was only one that was live action. I believe it had Topher Grace was in it.
Okay.
So it's really hard. If I try to explain it too hard, it's gonna take you out of it because the next episode is very unlike the last one. So even if you didn't dig this one, check out the next one. You might enjoy that one. So.
That's probably how they sink everybody in. Is just like, yeah, you may not like this episode, but give the next one a shot or something.
You lost 5 minutes, like just go on to the next one, and then or sometimes they're enough to like keep you intrigued. So the idea that they're coming back with a season 2 is really exciting, just because it's these directors that otherwise like they do these short films at these different festivals, and it's like they put their heart and soul into this like little short clip, and you get to see what that creative team's vision was. So I don't know, I'm into that kind of shit. So it's
right on.
Very interesting. Check it out, guys. Treat yourselves.
And
then comment on this video and tell us what you think.
Thank you, sir. You took the words right out of my mouth. So moving on to, I kind of don't want to touch onto the first 7 minutes of Mortal Kombat only because the movie's dropping tomorrow.
I saw it.
Did anybody else see it? No.
No,
7 minutes.
I want to wait to watch the whole movie.
Yeah,
you're not wrong. I mean, it was literally like you're seeing the credits, and it's just you can see it's like what's setting up the story. It's like where Scorpion's family and stuff, and you see some martial art display. There's tiny bits of CGI that's mixed in there,
okay,
but it's not overwhelming to where it's like, oh Jesus, like this is so out there. Like, so
okay,
we won't talk about it. We won't talk about it. Next episode,
next
we'll
episode, we got our full review of Mortal Kombat.
That's right.
And then the last one that we got is MODOK. I'm not super familiar with MODOK. I know it's going to be on Hulu. It's going to be a season 1. And the only thing that I really know about MODOK and this show is that Patton Oswalt is actually going to be voicing MODOK. So I'm actually pretty excited about that because I like Patton Oswalt. So anybody on MODOK?
Anybody see the trailer? I saw it.
I saw bits and pieces of it. And it's when he's going down and somebody, I think it's one of the staff that works with him, is like, where is he going or where does he go every night? And then like it shows him at his house and doing his normal days and taking out the trash. And it kind of reminded me of Dexter, not the killer Dexter, but the cartoon show Dexter.
Dexter's Laboratory.
Yes. But that's about all I got from it. I didn't watch the whole trailer. But it seems funny. It seems like it has like a comedic like timing to it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it looks good.
Right on. Very cool. Because I know MODOK is primarily an X-Men villain, isn't he? I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I knew he was a Marvel villain, but I didn't know he was X-Men.
I think it was Fantastic Four, but I'm not.
Is it Fantastic Four? Okay. Yeah. Well, one of the big team ups.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
The one, okay, the fucking arcade where you could be Wolverine, Cyclops,
yeah,
fucking Jean Grey, like where we could all play. It was like the same era as like
the Ninja Turtle one.
Exactly. Here's how old I am. It was like one versus 2, and then they came out with the Sunset Riders that had fucking four players, and then they figured out you could have 4 players on a fucking video game, arcade game, I should say. And X-Men and Simpsons were like of that era. Yes, MODOK was one of the enemies of that, and that's how much I know about him. All I know, he has like as big a face as Luis, but like just in a box.
What a dick.
Thanks, buddy.
You're such a dick.
Yeah, no, he made his first appearance in a villain team up comic book. So where he stayed loyal to after that is hard to say. He's done a lot of it on. It's been just more like MCU style. MCU style villain. He originated as he was an AIM employee, and he was dealing with arms tech, futuristic weaponry, and then there was a mutagenic medical experiment that happened that was supposed to just increase his intelligence, so he did it to himself, which was successful, but the end result is his head got super, super huge. But he was he was working for AIM, and he got his hands on some tech. He just used it on himself because he wanted to be smarter, and he's like, oh, nobody would know. But then his head just kept growing to hold all that shit. So anyway, as far as the trailer looks fun. I mean, fucking, I could tell it was fucking Patrick Oswalt when the trailer first fucking started. I'm like, oh my god, that's totally him. Man, it seems it's not taking itself seriously, like the way that I compare a lot of things to this, but the way Harley Quinn didn't take itself seriously, it's just let's have fun with it, and it feels that way. So
that's cool.
I'm in.
Right on.
I'm in.
Very, very cool. So, real quick, we're going to jump into some actual comic book news. So, for all of our fans that are looking into looking into jumping onto a comic book, Marvel has a new a new X-Men team up book that's going to be dropping in July. This is a new X-Men team. And we've got, let's see, as far as who's going to be on the team, is we've got Cyclops, Marvel Girl, Polaris, Wolverine, and that's X-23 Wolverine, not Logan Wolverine, Rogue, Sunfire, and Cinch. So that's the team for this new X-Men that's going to go ahead and be dropping July 1st. Aside from that, the only thing that I've read is that this X-Men team isn't technically going to be fighting villains, but they're going to be fighting heroes. And what they're also saying is if you guys get a chance to kind of get you up to speed on where they're at, is to read House of X and Power of 10 to kind of get you ready for this new X-Men book that's going to be dropping. So I'm pretty stoked about it. I read Powers of 10 and House of X. Those are actually pretty well written books. I really, really dug those. I think they're all in paperback form right now. So I mean, I'm looking forward to it. What about everyone else?
I'm in. I'll have to check them out through Comixology for all of your comic book needs. Comixology. or if you're a better person than me, you can go to your local comic book store.
Support small business.
Yeah.
And let's see. And not only did Keanu Reeves create his own comic book, it looks like very own Mother of Dragons, Emilia Clarke, ended up doing her own comic book as well called Mother of Madness. So I saw the artwork for this cover and it actually looks really, really, really cool. I'm looking forward to that one. I'm not too familiar with the story of what she's going to do or what the comic book's based on. So what about you guys? Do you think more celebrities are going to be jumping on this comic book creation train like Keanu and Emilia Clarke have?
I don't think so. I'm very surprised that Keanu did it and that it's going so well for him.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm more surprised about Emilia Clarke. I would have never seen that coming from her. So I am excited to see where the story goes. I know the title of it is Mother of Madness, and I was reading something about the fact that she wanted to create it to portray mothers in a certain light. So I'm excited to see where it goes and where the story is. But it was like from left field. If you would have ever said like, oh, who do you think is most likely to come out with a comic book, and never would she have come up in my brain to think of that. But I mean, that's fucking awesome. I love her. She's beautiful. So yeah, I'm excited for the story.
Right on. Ash.
I don't disagree with that. But at the same time, like, Keanu has done it. Did video games. He went back to Bill and Ted 3. Like, I can see that. I can see that more over than Emilia Clarke. But at the same time, doing 6 or 7 seasons of Game of Thrones, doing a Star Wars movie, I can't not see. It's not like Amber Heard coming out with a fucking comic book movie, even though she's been in a comic book. Even though she's been in a comic, I can't see it. But Emilia Clarke feels kind of more like, yeah, I'm down. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm down. You know what I mean? That kind of a thing. Like, everybody has like a secret, either artist or some secret talent, some secret whatever. I can see that. Like, Keanu has a fucking comic book, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. We may have mentioned it once or twice.
Yeah. Did we mention it right now?
Yes, we did.
Maybe 5 minutes and counting. Yeah.
No, the Emilia Clarke thing. That's where I was at. That's what I meant. No, Keanu fucking can do no wrong except for Bill and Ted 3, but can do no wrong.
Andres?
Andreas.
Thank you. From what I read, she said that the post she did, she kind of like released it as a surprise. She said she's been working on it for a couple of years, and she just kept it a secret the whole time. The cover artwork is pretty trippy, which doesn't it was just a cover work, so I don't know how the book itself looks. I was hoping you could see kind of like the character design or something, but we didn't get that yet. I'm willing to check it out. It's cool that that it's her that did it because I'm a fan. So at the very least, like I said, I'll check it out, and whether I continue with it or not, we'll see after that first one or so.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I kind of feel the same way for that, because I haven't picked up the Berserker yet, but I'm planning on doing that. Staying on Emilia Clarke and casting news, it looks like Emilia Clarke as well as Olivia Colman have been cast in Secret Invasion. Let's see. So, if you're not familiar with Olivia Colman, let's see. If you're not familiar with Olivia Colman, she is actually Queen Elizabeth in the Netflix show The Crown. How does everybody? I mean, their roles are not defined yet. Yeah. So, what does everyone think as far as this casting goes so far? Andres.
It's two good actresses. I think pretty much like it's gonna be our stock answer every time there's like a new Marvel anything. It's like, oh, that seems interesting. Or if it's like a character we don't know, it's like, oh, well, because it's Marvel, we're gonna give it a shot. But since it's Emilia Clarke and I do love her, I already want to watch. So anybody else?
Sorry. I like the casting. I do watch The Crown. I'm a fan of that show. So Olivia Colman's representation of the Queen is actually really well portrayed. I know she won an Academy Award last year, I think, for her performance in the show. So, I mean, she's a top tier actor, and so is Emilia Clarke. So I'm excited to see where the show goes.
Luis?
I mean, I've watched maybe 2 episodes of The Crown or 3 episodes of The Crown, and by that I mean my girlfriend has watched it and I'm in the room as well, but I'm not really paying attention. So, but not to steal exactly what your response was, Andres, like, it's my stock answer. I don't know much of it, but I have faith that whatever they see, whatever their vision is, it's like, hey, I'm along for the ride. I've already invested. Like I'm too far in to bail out now, so I'm invested. I'm curious to see what world they create.
Very cool. Ash.
Invasion to me is kind of like Guardians, where Secret Invasion to me. Sorry, I got thrown off. That's one of those comic books where it's kind of like almost like What If, like things that you don't know that's happening, kind of like this is happening all whatever. That's how I'm handling Secret Invasions, because Secret Invasions in the comic books had its own little, like, it's next level. You know, you can collect Batman, you can collect fucking Iron Man, you can collect whatever, but Secret Invasions has its own little thing. So I'm excited to see everything, because I feel like it's gonna have its nod to people that have been following it, and it's gonna try to still bring us in who haven't seen any of that stuff. Andreas? Like
Andres went.
Andres already went. It just seemed like you had more to say.
Person.
No,
Andres went.
I'm trying to fucking cut myself before going into like exactly.
You're trying to cut yourself.
You go up the street.
You don't cross the street, you go down the street. That's right.
Yeah, exactly. So we have now.
Word.
Thank you. We have now entered everyone's favorite part of comics.
The end.
It is no, not only that part. Not only that, but it's close to the end. It's close to the end. I mean, typically when you host Ash, it's a 3-hour long podcast. So
It is.
So Carmen, thank you with the spoiler alert. So we have just witnessed, well, if you guys saw it last week, episode 5 of the Falcon and Bucky show. This is now, we are one episode away from this thing coming to a complete end,
Okay.
with actually no possible season 2.
I have a question. I know. I swear to God, I tried to not fucking interrupt this entire show.
He's setting up the segment, dude.
I know that I did.
Why are you so angry about it?
Because I fucking stayed quiet and I really tried this time.
So
That's
angry.
me actually trying. But Invincible. Fucking, are we not going to talk about Invincible?
Yes,
was
but we
amazing.
always talk about Invincible after Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Oh,
like if you were paying attention to the other shows, you would
Winter
know
Soldier is the best.
how the order goes. Oh my God!
Mommy,
But
Daddy,
you know
you're
what?
fighting.
I'll fight with Esteban. I never fight against Carmen.
Are you sure? I got audio that says otherwise.
Well, yeah, I will.
I got audio that says otherwise. You know, you swearing up and down you can outdrink Carmen.
I will outdrink Carmen.
No, you won't.
Go to sleep.
Jesus.
If I,
Anyways,
if I don't,
That's exactly what you're gonna do. You're gonna go to sleep.
no. We're about to go
but
viral.
Seriously, wait, let's
I'd
go
like
back
to
and talk about
say-
Falcon. Thank you, Andres. Please
Yes.
take it away.
Yeah, he's sad.
so yes,
He's sleepy.
Andres is
I'm trying
sleepy.
to. That's why I'm trying to. That's why I didn't interrupt a lot. Go on.
Thank you. Case in point. So Falcon and Winter Soldier, episode 5 has ended. We saw the ending that ended up happening. John Walker is now been stripped of his title. He is no longer Captain America. So I think this last episode was bananas, and I called it, and I'm a little pissed about it that they just let him walk away without any repercussions for murdering that Flex smasher. So I'm a little pissed about that, but then again, what are you gonna do? So I hope that the finale gives us that, I don't want to say gut punch, but I know it's going to do something like that it's going to like kind of blow our minds as far as, there might be, I don't have my hopes up on the power broker. I really don't, because we all had our expectations for the space engineer and it turned out to be nobody. So I have zero expectations in regards to who the power broker is. I would actually be blown away if it was somebody else, like an actual relevant character and not just a throwaway character. So, Andres, how did you feel about episode 5?
I was surprised that it was Julie Louis-Dreyfus as the power broker, and it was kind of cool how she came up to John Walker after they had the whole meeting, I guess, with the the board that was in charge that gave him Captain America shield. Yeah, I do hate him as a character. I did kind of feel bad that he was getting like kind of fucked over, but not. I just like that he stood up for himself against like the government or whatever.
Yeah.
I did find it funny at the end how he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go make my own shield." But yeah, that fight scene in the beginning was fucking incredible, like film level quality fight scene, like, and it was right off the bat. So some super cool shit in that episode.
It was that fight scene was just fucking amazing. Like, it was fantastic. Luis.
This was my favorite episode by far. It was everything that I wanted it to be. Like, The fight scene was amazing. It showed Sam's intelligence mid-fight, where he's not a super. We got these two super soldiers fighting, and he has enough skill in what he does and enough like fight awareness to be able to stand in there and not be in the way. You know, like I was just so like I just get by someone's resourcefulness, and I think that's why I resonate to Batman so much. It's like your resourcefulness to know, okay, I don't have this, what do I have? You know, and so the way he was using his wings, and even when his wings got ripped off, the way he was using his jetpack, like to fucking torque it, like to get the shield away from him, like everything. Be from that to I'm gonna work on this boat. And then we're just a couple of bros drinking some brewskis, working on some engines to get like I wanted that scene and I got it.
Right.
And then I am such a sucker for a training montage.
Oh,
I am
yeah.
such a sucker
100%.
for a train. Like if you just show up in the next scene and be like, "What's up? I'm badass with a shield now." Get used to it. Like and he just like starts doing all kinds of crazy shit. But like to see him mess up over and over and over again, and then he like you see him running his laps, he's doing his push-ups, and then you see him fucking doing it, he's doing flips, and it's like fuck yes. Like I'm ready to see like I have grown with him. Like he doesn't know if he wanted it. Then you talk to Isaiah, and it's like I don't respect this country because the country is this, and then talks to someone else and be like that symbolizes whatever you want it to symbolize, not what he thinks. Like, and so then it's like you see him grow, and us as a viewer, we're growing with them, and even physically when he's training and he's getting stronger and he's getting better, and it's like, and so now that we're walking into the last episode, I want to see all of it, and I'm gonna cheer. I'm just gonna be like, let's fucking do this. Like, so great, so great.
Carmen.
I'm glad you brought up that training montage because after I saw that, I was working out and I was like, I can do this.
Yes!
Like I gotta nail it. And then it just takes you to that place. But I really like the way they handled the conversation with Isaiah Bradley. I like the way that they brought a resolution to that, and it was kind of showing how Falcon is gonna forge his own road. Like he obviously has what Steve Rogers did and then what Isaiah Bradley went through, and he's like, okay, but I could be my own person and I can show exactly like what the shield means to me and what the Captain America symbol means to me. So I like the way that they brought that story to like not an end, but the way they kind of like
they wrapped it,
resolved it. Yeah. And then I was totally there for the bromance scenes with the ship. I loved it. I was like, hell yeah, some bromance. And then like the sister jokes, like he's just being nice to the sister, and then love it. I still want some resolution with the Flag Smashers. I know that we'll get it because I know that the finale is going to be like over an hour long. But I know that I loved WandaVision, but some of the things that were left, kind of my issues with Vision just disappearing. Like I hope it's none of that where the Flag Smashers just gonna go away and then like we have to wait. Maybe I think that's the thing that I don't like waiting. I want a resolution and I want to solve like now. I think that's the problem. Now that it's done bad, it's just like, how dare you like leave me on a cliffhanger? But yeah, I love that.
Ash.
For montages, all you have to see is any 80s movie ever.
Thank you.
That's Rocky. Like Rocky is 10 minutes. The whole thing is montage. I beat Ivan Drago. But I love me a montage. And then on top of that, like on a serious note, I like that I'm super offended because Uh, how do I even explain this? I'm super offended. When I say offended, I'm not offended. Uh, there's this thing that we're supposed to connect with, and what I mean by that is like, so there was a black super soldier, and nobody fucking did anything, and then it got all the way from this. This is how I feel about it, to Sam Wilson feeling about, if you're black and you want to hold the shield, you're fucking dumb. And then he was like, it's a whole other different way that he's taking it. Does that make sense? Like it's a
I
whole
think
other
they try to
now.
explain that he took it that way because they sent him to jail for 30 years and
Right?
they
No,
had
no,
to
no.
kill his old life.
I
Isaiah's.
completely understand. And what I mean by that is that he, instead of identifying with it and saying no to the shield, he's gonna then, that motivates him to become Captain America and
Mm-hmm.
helm the shield. Now I can fuck this motherfucking microphone. Uh,
That's what I've been
I'm
saying.
gonna become the thing that you. Mm, fuck, I'm trying to fucking be politically correct.
Don't
think-
just say it.
Uh,
Now you're choosing the time to be
I know,
politically
no
correct.
kidding.
Like just like
instead of accepting how you accept it, I'm now going to motivate myself to become the thing that you dreaded becoming, and make this a fucking icon.
Mm-hmm.
Like become. I'll even say what I said to Esteban during our chats is that, like, because of uh Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because of the show, I can now accept him in Phase 4 as Captain America, because now I have all the story that I didn't have before. I have all the, he's not a secondary character to me anymore. Like, the journey was these shows, and now I can deal with, like, not deal with, but I can now accept him as like Mad Captain America. I would kind of want the way they were doing the montage of them going back and forth with the shield, and still get our Winter Soldier as Captain America storyline, but uh I don't know. It like, it has to deal with race as well, but I don't know, man. It's such a fucking great show. It's so there's so I'm getting everything I wanted, that I'm nitpicking, and Luis and SD know what I'm talking about. With when I get everything I want, I'm still gonna nitpick and say like, if we could shave a half a second off of that, that'd be great. Like, I'm getting everything I wanted and that I didn't know that I wanted, but now I want like this much more. But other than that, I think it's amazing.
Did you are, and I'm sorry to like hone in on it, but like, you didn't like the way that was resolved. You didn't like the conversation with Isaiah Bradley and how that was handled. Okay.
No, that's what I'm saying is I love that conversation. Instead of saying like, I now agree with you, he's accepting it like, now I'm gonna take the shield and be Captain America. Does that make sense? Like, instead of being the way that he accepted it the first time he talked to Isaiah is a very different way that he accepted the second time the conversation happened. Does that make sense?
Okay, walk me through that. What is the difference between the first time and the second time?
He kind of didn't know that there was a black Captain America, right?
Okay.
And like, how come nobody told me about this? How come? And then once he figured out everything, instead of saying, yeah, no, fuck Captain America, fuck all this, fuck all America, and I'm just gonna stay out of the fight, like, now he decided to become like Captain America. You know what I mean? Like, it was like the way that you could accept things. Like, if I'm horrible at analogies, so I don't want to do it. But it was like it's like the way that fuck, I'm horrible at analogies. I just liked it.
Okay. Got it.
I get what you're saying, and I think what you're trying to say is the first time when he talked to Isaiah, he felt betrayed because he didn't know that what they did to Isaiah is what happened to him. So again, it just shows that as a black male or a black person, they're just being repressed because of what they did to him. Okay, so I get what you're saying. I understand that. But the second time when he spoke to him and he got that and he told him, Isaiah told him, they would never ever let a black man be Captain America. Yeah. That Sam took that as a, well, no, and yeah, I'm gonna prove you wrong. Like they will, you know.
Yeah. See what happened.
You took it more that way.
The way that I say things are fucking way dumber than what you guys know what I mean, and you always fucking explain what I mean. And another way that I took it, sorry, 1 second.
No worries.
The other way that I took it is like the Winter Soldier when he woke up and he doesn't, there's not a race thing. It's no race. It's two boys playing with the fucking shield. And that will inspire, no matter what race you are, little kids to be better than what they are. Better, not a race thing, better than where you're at. Give you inspiration. Give you fucking. It's amazing, bro. Like and it's coming from these two people that didn't get along from 9 movies, and they did this in this one fucking show. They brought the relationship between these two people up to this, like brothers. Am I cutting out?
No.
Okay. It just transcended race. It just transcends whatever.
Right, and I think that's what they're trying to do, is that you know, they wanted to show, you know, the BS that's going on in the country and they showed it that way. You know what I mean? So there's that, you know, and I mean, I love the way that they showed it and they portrayed it in the show. It's like, for those that don't believe it exists or anything like that, it's right there in front of you. It shows you, and across, you know, especially for the people that don't know the history of the comic and have never read the comic book Red, White, and Truth and stuff like that. They've never read that, you know, to see it in front of you. It's like, no, like they absolutely tackled that topic, you know. And I know, Andres, you wanted to say something. What were you going to say?
That scene with Isaiah Bradley, where I don't know if I may have taken it the wrong way, where I didn't see Sam be like, "I'll show you." It seemed like it kind of got to him, and that's why he had that conversation with his sister, where she's like, "Why are you letting Isaiah get into your head?" It's like, if you want to be Captain America, like, do what you want. Like, don't let what happened to this man 30 years ago happen to you. That's how I took that part. I take it.
100% agree. And that conversation with the sister, that last piece, the way I took it was that symbol wasn't Captain America. That symbol was fucking Chris Evans. I forgot. Steve Rogers. And that symbol represents and reminds him of Steve Rogers and what he is. And that was even a conversation he had with Isaiah. It's like, well, Captain America didn't put you in jail. You know, he's not the one that did that to you, you know. So, but the idea of being able to hone this emblem, this logo that your dear friend represented, the idea of you stepping up for that, and fuck America, America. This is about my friend, which is so much bigger. Like, or at least, and that's how I took it. Like, and that's the beautiful thing about, you know, cinema or art. It's open to our interpretation of how we see it. Like,
And to what you and Andres were saying, yes, absolutely. But I think in that brief moment, for a brief second, Sam took it as like, well, I'll prove you wrong type thing, but only for a second. But his sister, I think, is what he needed to hear from her say that in order for him to make that decision and say, you know what, yes, fine. Okay, I understand what everyone's saying, but I've been, going back and forth with this in my head.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead.
I meant more like, I don't mean like I'll prove you wrong. I just meant more like, well, now that's my motivation to become that.
Right.
Like to become the icon, to become.
Right.
Not to get political, but there, last year, before the election, I was not beginning to look at the American flag the same way, which is kind of how are people maybe interpreting the shield.
Well, of course, yeah.
I wasn't looking at the flag as the way I looked at the flag as a kid. I felt like people were burying their own little whatever under the American flag. And I hope you guys know what I mean by that. And that's how I took the shield in the show. Like, it means this to you, it means this to this, but like Sam is gonna make it mean this to everybody. That's how I'm motivated to become that.
Yeah, and I think watching this show, it makes sense why Steve picked Sam to take up the mantle, as Captain America. And it didn't dawn on me, or I didn't think of it that way, because as we all know, at the end of Endgame, Steve went back in time, created his own branch, and stayed with Peggy. Had to lay low the entire time while he was with Peggy, but he saw everything going down. He saw everything that had happened, history going down. He witnessed, Martin Luther King's assassination, Malcolm X. He ended up witnessing all this, So coming back, why wouldn't he pick Sam? It makes sense. Why wouldn't he pick Sam? And
also the shield means this to these people, and then why wouldn't he pick Sam? Because now it could mean that.
Right. So that's like, I'm excited to see the episode on Friday. I'm excited to see it because I want to see the suit. I want to see what, how, he ends up taking it up. Like, there's a lot of things that I want to see, because obviously in the trailer we see John Walker coming up with his own shield. I want to see Sam and John Walker clash shields together like we saw in Endgame. I want to see that, that would be dope. I would love to see that. I want to see Bucky tell Sam, I'm with you to the end of the line. I want to see that. There's so much stuff that I want to see that we probably may not see, but to kind of show or remind us of the relationship that Sam or Bucky had with Steve, that now he can have that relationship with Sam, that same relationship with Sam. So I'm super excited about that. Can't wait for it. And I'm going to be sad because the next Marvel show won't be until June, which is going to be Loki. So there's that. And then to kind of wrap things up and to kind of make Ash a little bit happy, we're going to dive real quick into Invincible. So
can I ask you a question though? Do you want to see the exact costume? No, excuse me. The exact, I don't even want to say this. I don't want to say outfit. The exact, do you want to see like a different
costume?
Oh, I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, the fact that they made us wait was fucking amazing because I really wanted to see it. I wanted to see if it was going to look exactly like the comic book, or if they're going to like do their own spin, because that's going to be
I think
outline of what they're going to go in the future, right?
Right, and I think they're going to do their own spin. And real quick before we jump into Invincible, is that it's obviously Wakandan tech. So I kind of see it as very Black Panther, and just it being nanotech and it just jumping onto him like that, like it did for Black Panther, and like how Tony had his suit.
That could make up for the serum.
Right, something like that, so that's what I'm excited for. I want to see that, so I don't care what it actually looks like. I think I'm more excited on how the tech is put together and given to him,
Yeah,
That's what I'm excited for. But to wrap up the show, we're going to talk about Invincible. And I know Ash is super excited about Invincible because he raised hell right before we jumped into Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So Ash, what are your thoughts on Invincible so far? We're about 6 episodes in.
7. It was
6.
6. The 7th is tomorrow.
Oh, my bad. I left off on 4. Okay. Anyway, the way that they're leaving it off is amazing because are we doing the spoiler thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
It's been done. The bell has been rung.
It's already been brought in. I just saw the last 2 episodes today for myself.
Not for somebody else.
It was amazing. No, I'm just saying.
Not for the show.
No, he did it for himself. He said that.
Oh.
Sorry, Ash. We interrupted you. Please continue.
Here's how the tangents happen. I go off on tangents because you guys interrupt me.
Oh,
Okay.
so it's our fault. It's our fault. My bad.
I heard myself. I went, what? Anyway, no, I'm just really impressed with it. Fucking everything I do is late. So I just saw the last 2 episodes today, and I got very happy because I'm not happy with like the personal life of Invincible, but I also
He's a high school kid. What'd you expect?
no. Well, I like the robot is now a kid, and then the way that they're doing it is fucking. I don't know. It's fucking amazing. And then.
Wait, I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. What do you mean robot is a kid?
What episode are you on?
She's caught up.
I've watched all of them.
Okay.
Same.
But-
I've watched all of them.
Robot is okay. So he used the Marauders to create the clone.
Mm-hmm.
It was all,
But we don't know what's in there. What do you mean robot's a kid?
What's happening?
I don't know. You explain it to us.
We're not ganging up on you, but like I just want
I'm
you to take me to that scene.
Yeah.
Like I need to know what scene you're referencing so I know what you're talking about. Are you talking about when he's with the twins? When he's with the twins and he's in the capsule? Is that what is that the kid? Okay.
Okay.
See, I'm not gonna get to that.
Okay.
I'm not the host.
Got it.
I'm gonna get to where.
No, because that was like it was like a growing fetus in a jar. But
Oh,
for you
I'm
to
sorry.
call
My
it kid.
bad. When I threw it to you, Ash, to talk about it, I didn't know I had to go scene by scene for you in order for you to explain it.
Don't go to me. I'm the most general guy in the world. Okay, so
You were the one that wanted to talk. Whatever. Continue.
Fuck?
Go ahead.
I liked the actual drama of it and the fact that we got to the wife knows and then how the husband's handling it and then also see, I'm gonna be general. The wife knows that fucking Omni-Man killed the Guardians of the Globe, the where we started at. And, I don't want to say the original because I don't think that's the original.
Yeah, first episode.
The first episode, Guardians of the Globe. I do. It's such a fine line because I do like the balding guy with the fucking Hulk Hogan haircut with the white hair.
Cecil.
I fucking love. I hated Cecil, but I love Cecil because he was like, I'm gonna let the only person die. Fuck. I understand how general I'm being. I'm still dealing with it as if you guys haven't seen it. The only person that could take out Omni-Man is fucking Invincible, and he's willing to let both of them die in a fucking throwback. Fuck, it's amazing. The show is fucking so great.
The show's really good.
Tentacle guy.
It's really good.
The tentacle guy that they didn't even show, and he had a tentacle on his back. They brought him back, and then now he can no longer feel. He can no longer whatever. Like, it was just a fucking great scene. It was just oh my god.
And we got to see my favorite character in that comic.
Who is?
Battle Beast.
That's the name. It reminded me of a Thundercat, dude.
Battle Beast
That was
is so
dope.
fucking legit. I don't like the voice actor that they picked, but he's just so down, dude. Like he's always
fucking
down.
perfect.
He's so great.
I was here for the best battle.
I was here for the fight. Like, and so I think I always had this like really deep, roary type of voice in my head when I would read it.
Did you see Omni-Man Invincible team up?
Against
Where are you?
Against who?
Against who?
An episode released today, I'm thinking. You might be one ahead of us.
That's what? Oh, fuck. Mad spoilers, dog. Nothing?
No. Well, everything you've said, the reason why, hold on.
And then Daniel-san is in the beach, and then
The reason why Carmen was saying, wait, what are you talking about? Is because me and her know things from the comic book line, and we're
one
afraid.
did drop today. It did drop today.
Yeah. And so me and Carmen are afraid of revealing something that hasn't been revealed in the show, which is why Carmen was asking you, walk me through it. What are you talking about? So there's nothing you can say that'll spoil it for us. It's more that we're holding back.
But I thought I was behind.
No, okay. Well, we
just
we
aired today.
typically episode 7 or their episodes drop on Fridays. Apparently they dropped one early today. So you are ahead of us by 1. So yes, you are. Okay, so it's fine. Relax. It's okay.
It's okay. And then Clubber Lane says prediction pain, and then fucking they do a montage, and then Rocky comes back and then knocks him out.
Oh, perfect. Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
So I think it's safe to say that
So
we're all
amused
digging,
amused with himself.
right?
No,
It's just like he's just like just a pat on the back. It's like I got it.
He's like, I knew what I was talking about.
No,
I know.
So fucking bad that some people can see it. I'm turning red. I just feel bad. Anyway.
Andres, have you seen any of Invincible?
I have not.
You haven't? Okay.
No, sorry.
That's all good. It's all good. So I think it's safe to say that Luis and Carmen love the episode 2 or the season so far.
It's good. Yeah, it's good. It's becoming more linear as the show continues.
Okay.
Yeah.
As far as like the college and all that stuff, the Omni-Man suspense of did he kill the Guardians or did he not? That's all new. It's like you don't know until it's revealed, and then it's like craziness. So they're doing it very similar to what they did in The Walking Dead, where it was like they created a triangle between Rick, his wife, and Shane. Uh-huh. That was not in the comic book at all. It was just like whatever. So I can see why they added this whole thing, because it's like it's giving the wife, the mom, a more of a reason to be in it, which is interesting. Yeah, I dig it, because she's a very good character, and she doesn't really get to shine until like many
later on.
Yeah, where you get to see her personality, and she's actually funny, and you know all this stuff. So we're seeing that now. So I'm good. I dig it.
Okay. Carmen?
I love the show, and I love the fact that I was able to introduce it to my sister, and we were watching it together. And there's a scene on episode 6 where somebody impales themselves, and she's like, "What the fuck is this show?" And I was like, "Welcome. This is what is awaiting for you."
Carmen's like, "Welcome to my world."
I'm like, chef's kiss. But yeah, I love the show. I love, like Louis said, it's becoming more linear to what it was, the story as it was portrayed in the comic books. But I love it so far. I like the character of Adam Eve in the comic, and I like the way that it's being represented. It was kind of annoying in the beginning, but now it's kind of turning into what it truly should be. So I'm good with it. Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, I mean, I started reading some of the. I wanted to start reading the Invincible comic books before the show came out. I think I got only up to like issue 12 before the show came out,
far.
and then
it's pretty far.
Yeah. So I see what you guys were saying when we first started talking about it. You're just when you guys were talking about that race of aliens that came in at the very beginning of the first episode. You're like, I'm like, wait a minute, like this isn't, you know.
Yeah.
Until later on.
Yeah, so it's cool. I like it. I love the fact the suspense between Nolan and his Taylor, because it's like obviously they both.
Oh my god, that was such a crazy, like when they're drinking beers together, and it's like, are you gonna kill him right now? Like, what is like happening?
And I'm watching it. I'm like, he's gonna fucking split this man's skull right now. You know, like I'm watching. I'm like, this man's gonna die tonight. You know, so watching all of it is actually it was great. I loved it, and I'm gonna end up finishing, you know, the comic book series because I have it all downloaded and everything. What I do want to do is buy the Invincible Compendium books. It's like 3 volumes. They're like massive.
There's 3 volumes. Yeah, they're huge.
3 of them. They're massive, and I have the compendium books for Walking Dead. I have all of those. You know, I ended up getting all of those up to wherever that right now. I have all those, so it's kind of like for those that want to do something like that, it's pretty much like 50 issues in one book.
Yeah,
you know, because I think they went up to like 190 something in Invincible issues, something like that. It almost hit 200, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So those 3 volumes, those 3 compendiums, is the entire series, but broken up in 3 separate volumes. So yeah, I mean, I don't know.
164.
Okay. So yeah, so that sounds about right. So it's like 51 episode or issues each compendium.
If it's 3, it's like 60, 70
something like that
per book. Those things are massive, and it's not even that much. What is it, like $50-$60?
Yeah, and I think because the Walking Dead ones, I think the first compendium is up to issue 51 or 52 or something like that, you know. So yeah, I mean, it's if you guys want to pick up and like kind of get ahead of the game before season 2 starts, because I'm sure they'll probably end up ending this at like issue or episode 10 or something like that. I would recommend doing that. But I think that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this episode of Comics, episode 30. We are coming to an end. I want to thank everybody that has followed us thus far for the massive 6 million views that we got on that one video that we ended up posting a few weeks back. So thank you to all our followers. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in, following us. Hit the link tree in our bio. And Carmen's drinking a coconut stout right now.
Oh,
Imperial coconut stout.
Camera's on you now. You say it. Show the bottle now. See, yeah.
He's like, show your cans. Show your cans there.
No. So,
no comment.
Hi, Luis. So again, thank you so much for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share, comment. It's almost guaranteed that we'll go ahead and read your comments on the next episode. So for the next episode, I can give you guys a heads up. We're most likely going to end up reviewing Mortal Kombat because I think we got Luis up at deck for being the host for next episode. So again, thank you for tuning in, and Comics.
We are fucking everywhere.
Good night, everybody.
Minus the fucking.
I was like, we are not fucking everywhere.
I am not fucking everywhere.
We are everywhere.
Luis stays in the bedroom.
Exactly.
That's why you're boring.
I know.
Don't be boring, Luis.
Oh, man.
Good night, everybody.
Buenas noches.
Andres, I feel we put you through the ringer today, buddy. How you doing over there, man?